suddenly there was calmness. And I thought, have I lost consciousness? What has happened here? I felt this calmness, and it didn't feel like everything going black like you see in the cartoon. It was as if everything became light. It felt as if I was surrounded by light. It was tangible. And it's as if this light was alive, like it was comforting me, and I began to rise above the scene of this accident.
So in that second, I realized, okay, I'm dead. I look up. All of a sudden in the kitchen, I see this like huge white light coming from the ceiling to the floor. And it's just like, boom. And it's right there. And I just knew like, okay, that's home. Like that's where I'm supposed to go. So I had nowhere really else to go. No one was talking to me. I had no body. So I just like naturally moved into the light. So I went into the light. And as I was moving up into the light, I just started to feel so good.
And as I was fading back, all of a sudden you hear about the bright light. The brightest thing that you can imagine is a dark hole compared to the bright light that I saw. And as I saw that, I started feeling good, and I got dim.
Way off and paradoxically to infinity was this minute little speck of light. That light was very profound. It was the first identifiable object that I was able to perceive or see. So I was eagerly anticipating, what is that? And isn't that beautiful? And with that realization, it was even more profound because that little speck of light way, way off in the distance was very bluntly the most beautiful thing that I'd ever experienced in my life. It was absolute total beauty. It was white. Sometimes we like to dress up white by saying blue-white, like we try to grade diamonds and such. It was absolutely pure. It was brighter than something that would immediately blind you. It was the brightest thing that I'd ever experienced, brighter than 100,000 carbon arcs or welder's torches, various things of brightness that we could measure. It was at least the equivalent and brilliance of the supernova. It was also, other than beautiful, it represented a type of love that I'd never experienced. Now I can use the phrase unconditional love, although I wasn't familiar with that phrase at the time of this accident.
But I did become aware of a point of white light, intense, brilliant, gajillion times brighter than the sun. A little point of white light, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was alive. It was like breathing, and somehow I knew I had to go there.
I then started to see this light that was incredibly bright. It didn't hurt my eyes, and all the physical pain and everything that was going on back in the room sort of disappeared.
And I remember saying, that should be burning my retinas out. But it was so bright I didn't even blink. I could just look at it, and it drew me in like a gentle magnet pulling me down the tunnel.
And I started going towards a light. And that light was the most brilliant light, multiplied thousands of times stronger than what the sun was. And I was being pulled towards that. And I kept going and kept going and kept going. And the closer I got, the more intense the feeling of love that was possessing me. It was pushing in on me. It was almost suffocating me. It was so tight. And when I got to the light, the love was so incredible. The acceptance, the forgiveness. There was pure knowledge.
Inside, it was incredibly bright. This was not a tunnel of light like people discuss, but it was just, it's like, I'll tell you what it was like. It was as if light was a liquid and you're in a sea of light. There's light everywhere with no particular source.
And at that point, I saw this bright light above my head. Well, I couldn't move my body, but I look up into the light. and this light is coming down. It's the most beautiful light I'd ever seen. It was just breathtaking. And I remember it coming down and enveloping me and taking me into the light. And I ended up in this pure white room. And instantly I knew where I was and where I was going. And I was going home to God.
And there was this brightness, which was just absolutely blinding light. I couldn't see or define anything. And I'm sure that in my present human body carnal state, it probably would have killed me had I not already been dead, to be exposed to the super pure and utter righteousness of God.
But there was this blinding light, and it was like in beams and sparkling beams, like diamonds. You could see these light beams and the sparkles coming down it towards myself.
The light is so awesome. It's like a healing light. It's white. It's bright. It's not like light that we have. It is not. You just feel so good up there, and everything is so beautiful.
And what happened next was this slowly spinning white light that came towards me, a very clear and pure light that had fine white and gold tendrils off of it. And this white light came towards me, and the best part about it is it came packaged with a perfect musical melody.
So I left my body and I was translated from this dimension immediately into a light. Imagine a morning which is very, very foggy, and you can't look around. Everything is foggy. You cannot even see you're driving, but you cannot even see the car before you. Have you ever had that type of experience? Well, it was just to try to bring a picture. It was the same environment, except that instead of the fog, it was light. So the light was permeating the whole, I couldn't see from a distance, above, underneath, to my right, on my left. Everything was light. Everything was light, and that light was permeating love, permeating an unconditional love, permeating an effervescence, happiness. Actually, every single emotion that's positive was actually in that light. There was no negative emotion, no stress. It was just permeating light.